Yeah, you're listening. I am.
And that's your name, so
I was telling you that this woman look at me like I gave her $1 billion when I told her I have the
yeah.
answer. But she's like, Renee, stop messing with me. I said, no, I'm serious.
That's probably your people right now calling.
Probably. I was like, I'm doing the pull off, couple pull off, blah, 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 blah. She's like, that's nice. Do I said, she said, girl, I'm
Wow.
actually here. Yeah. Where?
Yeah, everybody think I'm not here.
I said, yeah. I said, but none of the drawing of blood and so forth,
Hmm.
urine and stool happens here, but everything is tested.
Right.
You know, we like,
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Mhm. So last time I was sitting with a slouch and made me look like yeah. So I'm trying to sit up a bit now because I thought any right here they could see.
I could fix it, you know.
I thought any right here they could
That's what you
see.
want?
So I had my foot in my lap and all, and I was like, oh my god,
All you do,
I
just
got
put
really
this down and tell
comfortable.
you, or up.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there you go.
perfect.
1 minute.
Yeah.
Yes, Theron Davis, I see you. I see you, brother. I see you. You see Doc trying to hide half her body.
My friend said, "Why do you look like you have a belly and you don't have one?" I said,
Yeah, the
I was
camera
just
did
sitting
that
like
for true.
I was sitting like this because I was just so
Oh,
relaxed."
oh, yeah, the camera.
Mhm.
Here we go. Star 106 hits a pleasant Wednesday. Good afternoon to each and all. Welcome to another Wellness Wednesday, powered by none other than the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources. They're getting ready for the Anchor Awards, where we're definitely paying homage to the fishermen. I got to say thank you to the Central Bank of the Bahamas, the Six Caribbean Baseball Cup, City of Hope, formerly Cancer Treatment Centers of America. Thank you to Calic, the Beer of the Bahamas. Thank you to KFC, Pinder Tile, and of course, thank you to Solomon's. All right. Good afternoon to each and all. Locked and loaded. 106.5 on the FM band is where you find us. Channel 976 on cable. Special good afternoon goes out to the Family Islanders. Locked and loaded. I understand that Inagua, ooh, I hear y'all loving up the star. So shouts out to the Inagua crew. And then, of course, we are also found on Facebook, Star 106 and Natural Empress on Facebook. So good afternoon to the Facebook fam. Listen, time really flies during this hour, especially when this young lady is in the house. All right, so we're going to get into it. She's back by popular demand, Dr. Lashanta Smith. And today we talk everything sweet. Good afternoon, Doc. Good to have you back in the building representing the treatment room.
Yes, good afternoon, Empress. I am happy to be back as well.
All right. So, for those that follow you, those that are your patients, we all know that you've been very vigilant about and very adamant about your patients doing a sugar detox. And why I decided to talk about sugar today is because I'm finding it's becoming more of a conversation piece lately, like within my circle in particular, everybody just automatically starting to talk about sugar. Like the awareness is almost like mental health. People are now tuning in. They're being, the public at large has been so sensitized that you're finding that persons are now beginning to talk about it. Now, taking the next step in terms of doing it, detoxing is another story. Some of the, some people you can lead the patient to the water, but you can't make them drink.
No,
right?
not at all.
But like GI Joe would say, knowing is half the battle. And I think that if more persons understood the harm that they're doing to their bodies on a regular, now the choice is still theirs, but at least if they're armed with the information at depth, I think people will make more conscious decisions to do better, even to try and eliminate as much as possible. Make healthier choices. If you used to drink 10 sodas a day, now you're doing two, and gradually wean yourself of this thing that we have and a lot of us have been introduced to it at too early an age. And I want to talk about that too, where our expecting mothers are listening as well, and the choices they can make, because children are creatures of habit. Whatever you teach them is what they learn. So it's up to you as parents to make the healthy choice. We're also talking to the Ministry of Education. We are talking to the schools. We're talking to the tuck shops. We're talking to, man, you roll your eyes, the cafeterias. We got to get the word out there. Wow, saw her at Super Wash yesterday. Beautiful lady. That's it. They know all your business. Even detergents, we could talk about if you'd like.
Yes.
I'm sure she wasn't using what you always
No, I was picking up some laundry.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, Doc, sugar. We are so consumed by it. And I don't think we realize that in the long run, that it helps to deteriorate our systems and our body at large. So let's get into it.
Yes, and what a wonderful topic. I believe everybody can benefit just from reducing sugar. So most people would say we can't totally give up sugar because sugar is in everything. And that is so true. That is so true. To give up sugar totally, you will have to die, because you just have to stop eating and you'll starve.
Right.
Okay. But what we like to encourage patients to do is let's give up the foods that will consume or contain the higher glycemic index, and we'll consume the ones that have the lower glycemic index for a period of time, just to give your liver a break. The liver can regenerate.
Correlation between the liver and the sugar.
Yeah, so that liver is that particular organ that takes the most abuse from the sugar. Secondary will be your kidneys. Your kidneys will damage itself trying to save you from the excessive sugar.
So you're talking kidneys and lung and liver, so you're also pretty much marginalizing the drinkers, because alcohol is sugar.
Yes, a lot of that is sugar.
Oh, Lord.
And then they mix it with the juice as well, the fruit juices, and that's a bunch of sugar as well too.
So when you're out and about and you watch people, let's say for instance in the food store, because I find that, I don't know what it is about Bahamians, when you're in the food store, people literally, without trying to be discreet, they looking in your trolley. I don't know if you face that. I face it.
Oh, I'm always soon. I'm the one that's looking in the trolley. Yes.
Like you. Like, do you cringe when you're out in the food store, at restaurants, which you probably don't really, frequently visit? Do you like, oh my God, look at these people digging their grave with their teeth?
Yes.
Do you feel that?
Yes, I feel it. It hurts me, because you can see they're putting the grocery items on the belt and everything is all wrong. Absolutely everything is all wrong. And then you would see that shopper who is trying their best to choose healthier items, but because they are not properly educated, even while they're trying, it's still all wrong. Yes. And you see them with the whole wheat bread and, they're trying, but it's still all wrong.
Okay, so here's where education comes in. You're saying to try and not necessarily eradicate your sugar intake, but to try and reduce.
Tremendously reduce it. We want to totally get rid of the toxic sugars. Now, not reduce it, totally eliminate the toxic sugars.
Oh, come on, man. We creatures of habit. We've been doing this sugar thing from 1 year old. Like, how do you expect people to do that?
That's fine, because we can retrain our taste buds. If you eliminate something for more than 21 days, oftentimes when you try to go back to it, you no longer like it. I've proven that. Personal experience, myself, and so many other people. Like,
you didn't really like it then. You didn't like it.
No, I loved it. So many things I loved
Like
years
what?
ago.
Like what?
I love sugar as well in all forms. I love Vitamalt. Now, if that's the only thing left to drink, I'm not going to drink anything.
Oh, wow. Wow.
It's loaded with sugar, and not only that, it has malt, and that's almost everyone's food allergy as well. It shows up so often.
Yeah.
Right, and mine as well.
Yeah. So what are the baby steps that need to be taken in order to at least put your best foot forward?
Okay, so like I said, first of all, just cut out the sugary drinks. You can just start right there, because it's the drinks that's killing most people. Like, the average person may eat maybe 2 to 3 meals per day, but how many drinks are they having in one day? Way more. So if they can just start with those fruit juices that has so many added sugars and the sodas, that's a good place to start. Like, it's just a tip of the iceberg, but it's enough to kind of turn you in the right direction, so we can start heading you in the right direction.
So start off with the drinks.
Yes.
Okay, and I hear you say nothing about alcohol.
Yeah, that includes alcohol, of course. Drinks, alcohol, the wines, all of that is sugar. It's a burden for your liver, and that's your metabolic health. That's where cancer comes from. That's where hypertension comes from, heart disease, and all of these other things. So you have to support your liver.
Yeah, but then remember now, drinking next to sweetheart is the Bahamas' favorite pastime. How you expect these people to pass that?
Now, I have never heard that, but that is so true.
No, for real. It's the number one, drinking and sweetheart. No, however,
Yes, that is true.
so what are you telling the nation at large when it comes to um, eradicating sugar? For most people are drinkers. If they're not casual drinkers, they're alcoholics.
Yeah.
How? What else are they gonna do?
I guess we need to get to the root cause of why are they drinking?
So much,
Yeah,
right?
why? It's something that
So
they're
we're
trying to
talking
cover.
into the mental
Yeah,
aspect,
so that's the mental part of it. Some past traumas as well. Maybe they're dealing with from they were children, and they're just trying to cover it. The brain just wants to feel good. And so if it remembers that the last time you felt so good was when you was consuming that alcohol, it's going to constantly draw you back to that, because it does have some sensitivities when it comes to releasing dopamine, and dopamine is a happy, feel good, rewarding hormone. People always want to feel happy, they always want to feel good, and we always want to feel rewarded. So if the alcohol is doing that, they're going to want it every day, all day.
We are going to take a quick break on that. Let that part sink in, because there's more to come on this Wellness Wednesday. Dr. Lashanta Smith is in the building, so keep it locked. More to come right here on the Star.
Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope. Creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks.
Say, going home to a miserable home? Lord, fix it, Jesus.
Yeah, a lot of stress, but is it fixing the problem? No, it's creating another one.
Fix it. Is one worse than the other when it comes to how sugar affects the male versus the female?
Oh, yes, that's a good question. It is. Yes, sugar affects men far more than it affects a woman. No. Remember, for us as females, the worst thing for our health is always going to be stress. Like, our bodies cannot take stress. We're not designed for stress. Men, they can handle stress a whole lot better. I'm not saying that stress doesn't affect them and make them sick, but they can handle a whole lot more of that. We can't handle stress at all. Now, the worst thing for a guy's health is always going to be sugar. Like, that's the reason why if you put a guy on a sugar detox, his life changes.
Okay, and somebody's walking in who I know is done. Did you hear that while walking up here? Males are more affected by sugar than the female.
I agree with that.
And when you take a man off of sugar, the chances of them wanting it after the detox. Yeah.
I feel difference is what they say.
This is Randy.
Oh, okay. I know the name and the voice. Guys.
Yeah, so this is day 6 for me. Because I've taken the entire month. There's no sugar month for me. And I felt the difference within 3 days.
Yeah. Wow.
Like mental clarity, sleep,
energy.
Energy,
right. Correct. I feel a balance.
Right.
Se,
yeah.
Yeah. And so
just
I'm
3 days.
That's what it feels like in 3 days.
Just 3 days.
And then you're telling me about the smell?
Yeah. I didn't know it affects, like sugar also affects your smell as well.
Yeah, it can. It affects every single thing.
Yes. 706 hits, and welcome back for your mind on a sweet Wellness Wednesday. Dr. Lashanta Smith is in the building. Today we talk sugar intake, and I know a lot of you are like, you know what? We're going to die from something, so I can just live my life, and I can just enjoy it. Doc, you roll your eyes, but you do know, and I know, that is some people's outlook when it comes to making these so necessary changes.
Yeah.
Now, you were talking about how sugar affects males more than it does females. I'll let you elaborate.
Right. So the worst thing for guys' health is always going to be sugar, because sugar will just destroy that testosterone. Okay, but when it comes to females, like sugar is going to be damaging for us as well. But the worst thing for our health is going to be stress. Now, it's not that stress doesn't affect men; it can affect them negatively. But just a small ounce of stress will deplete our health. Like it can even lead to breast cancer as well, or any form of cancer for females. But the thing that's going to destroy a guy mostly is going to be sugar. So if a woman, let's say a female, is eating very, very healthy, she's reducing her sugar intake and she's avoiding her food allergies.
What we
Yeah,
think is healthy.
no, let's say our healthy, like the real healthy. She's doing the sugar detox. She knows her food allergies, so she's avoiding them. She's avoiding gluten and genetically modified food. She's eating well, but she's dealing with a lot of mental and emotional stress, or even physical
Why
stress.
even talk about pleasing people? Why are you doing that? All in my business. Go ahead.
We have to manage things, and not even manage. Sometimes we have to eliminate some things, and I too am guilty of that as well. But if she's still extremely stressed, that can still make her sick. It doesn't matter how well she's eating because the stress is just far worse than a bad diet. Now, if she's doing both, then that's just a double whammy and things will end very, very quickly. But we have to manage our stress as females. We have to eliminate our stress as females.
But this is the real world. The world is a stressful place.
It is.
I think what we'll at least aspire to do is to minimalize it. I don't know if we could totally eradicate it because everybody's on the hamster wheel trying to make that dollar. Christmas coming, bills got to be paid. Whatever it is, we're on. Most people aren't wealthy, so several people I know have more than one job. You know what I mean? You have people that they're working in the day, come nighttime, they just switch uniform. Shouts out to all my supermen and superwomen out there. But again, it's about making ends meet. So you do what you have to do by any means necessary. Now, you're saying that's detrimental to not only just your health, but your life.
Yes, it is.
But what are we going to do?
This is the real world. I know that. But let's go back to the basic. Okay. Like our ancestors, they were not working 2 and 3 jobs. No. Like women were not even working. Their place was in the home. Now, I don't want that to be my place. I want to work. I want to save lives and help people. But that's how it was back then. So women didn't take on the amount of stress that we are taking on. Even night shift workers. Night shift jobs are now actually considered a carcinogen, a cancer-causing agent. So if you're working at nighttime rather than prioritizing sleep, that's going to increase your risk tremendously for cancer.
Wow.
We have a biological clock. It's called a circadian rhythm. It's a sleep-wake cycle. And the body knows the difference between day and night. So you can't say, I make up an amount of sleep that I miss at nighttime and I get that in the day. No, that's still off. So your clock is out of balance and it needs to be reset. And that alone can increase the risk of cancer because when we sleep, we heal. And usually the time is between... No, the time is between 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. That's the healing time. That's the time the body heals mostly. So if you're missing that, you're not healing.
Wow.
You're not healing.
Yeah. Wow.
You're not.
So those that have insomnia, and between the hours of 10 and 2, they're sitting on their phone, scrolling on Instagram. And for those that get up and read the Bible, God bless you. But he wants us to sleep. That's what you say.
Yes, he wants us to sleep.
Oh, my God. This one says, so when we ain't sleeping during that time, we're not healing.
We're not healing. Yikes. No. Everything that was damaged within that day, your body's not able to heal that because you're not asleep.
So all of those who talking about, yeah, man, we in these streets, man, 10 o'clock, 2, 3, 4.
Yes.
They're doing themselves a disservice.
Yes, they are. And they're not even aware of it, but they are.
I have an aunt, come to think of it, all my life. She is always up. She's up all night. She does not go to sleep until 4 in the morning. And this is from I was 8 years old. I can recall. And she sleeps all day until about 1 in the afternoon. She's 83 years old now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And all of her life, she's been doing this.
From I could remember. Now, ask me about her ailments. She has them.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure.
Absolutely.
I'm sure. Remember, the body can keep us alive for a very long time, but it doesn't mean that we're going to have quality of life. Yeah.
We'll be alive, but not necessarily living.
No.
This one says it takes effort to adjust with so many things created by sugar. Like there's no tea with no sugar for some people. Water ain't flavorable for some people unless it has taste.
Wow.
This one say, hey, schoolmate, Sean, you know everybody. Get off my live. Really? This is a young man that tunes in religiously from Texas every day. He's the Bateman.
Okay.
Shout out to you, Sean. And this one goes on to say, can you touch on the importance of sleep? Fit bodybuilders or people trying to bodybuild. I know people who work out in the gym but skip a lot of nighttime to rest.
That's a lot of stress on your body, and that's going to lead to a heart attack.
Y'all notice how she dropped these bombs with a, very pleasant face? Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to lead to a heart attack, and I don't like to see people working out at nighttime. I know some people do that.
But that's their time. That's the only time they have.
No, they have to make it work. They have to readjust their schedules, and they have to find a way to get exercise in at a different time, or else your exercise is not going to be helping you. Instead, it's going to be hurting you.
I don't think people heard that, and I don't think people understood what you just said. You're trying to say that exercise at the wrong time or at the wrong stage of where you're at physically can damage you, because I can tell them there was a time where she took me off of exercise.
Yes, I did.
I thought she was crazy. I was like, girl, exercise.
Everybody's saying exercise, right?
Everybody says and everybody promotes exercise. Healthy diet. You got to eat. You got to exercise. So you're saying that exercise can also harm you. I don't think anybody's ever told us.
Yes, exercise can be very harmful, especially for females when it's done incorrectly or at the wrong time, or even too much exercise. And even for men, but more damaging for females.
Christelle says cardio is the best form of exercise. You say?
Yeah, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah, but you better know the time that you're doing that. Yeah, again, we don't want to be doing this at nighttime. If you're doing your cardio in the morning or throughout the day, or maybe like an early evening.
Isn't intercourse cardio too?
It is.
Are you doing it at night? Hello?
Just make sure you can fall asleep afterwards.
Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, so let's talk about foods that contain sugar. Because we started with the drinks, and you're saying that's one step in the door. Let's talk about food. Let's talk about all of those that consume lots of fruits, because fruits are healthy.
Right. So you already know during our sugar detox, there's absolutely no fruits. Now, I know people would be surprised to hear that, but sometimes we even got to give fruits a break. Like, we're getting sugar from so many other places. If you're eating a whole bunch of fruits, that's going to be a lot of fructose. That's the sugar that is contained in fruits, right?
You know what? Before you go any further, give persons some of the names that they can be looking for if you want to pull it up. And some of the names that they can look for that are sugar.
Names of sugar.
Yeah.
Okay, so food manufacturers, they got very smart because people started to watch their sugar intake. So they started to hide sugar in various names. So they can still label that item no sugar or sugar-free. All right, because there's a particular drink, I won't even call it a name, but there's a particular drink that everyone gravitates towards because it tastes good, I understand. It's sweet, and it's also labeled 0 sugar. So they think it's good. But when we look at the back ingredient, it's sweetened with something. Something is making it sweet. And you'll see aspartame, and you also see sucralose. That's a very, very popular one. And sucralose is literal poison for your body.
Lord. Okay, but you know what? I'm healthy. This is the person in the office now that's by the coffee maker. They're like, oh, no, I don't use sugar. I use honey.
Honey is good. You know, it's going to help to fight infections and some more other benefits as well. Syrup. But you don't want to be using that every day, especially if you have metabolic issues. If you have metabolic issues, you can handle the use of honey every day. Maybe somebody else, but not you. So even that we want to be able to reduce.
So there's so many of them, but I'll just give you a few. Of course, the honey, the maple syrup, the coconut sugar, dates, molasses, cane sugar, beet sugar, agave, dextrose, sucralose, cane alcohol, maltodextrin, aspartame, MSG. I thought MSG was more like a salt.
Yeah, but it's still considered sugar when it's broken down. Still creates a spike.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So what is healthy sugar?
So some of them you listed are going to be okay, like the dates and the coconut sugar, like in moderation. But some of them you should never touch, like the dextrose, the maltodextrin. You should never touch those ones. The sucralose, like I mentioned before, because
What
they're
about the
poisonous
Damara
sugar.
The brown sugar, the grainy brown sugar, Damara.
So that would be sugar covered in molasses, which is too sugar. Yeah.
Okay, so just disappoint us as we try.
Just use monk fruit. Yeah, tell
Let's
them
talk
that.
about- Okay, so monk fruit is my new best friend, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm looking at this list, and I don't see monk fruit on this list. What does that say?
Because monk fruit is actually a healthy sweetener. That's the one sweetener that you can use, and it will not affect your blood sugar levels.
Woohoo!
Xylitol is another one. Like, as humans, we cannot even absorb it. So it just passes right through the GI tract, and we poop it out. So you're not even absorbing it. But the taste is good. It's a 1-to-1 ratio of table sugar.
And stevia?
And stevia as well. That's another good one.
On this list either.
Yeah, so that's going to be a plant sugar, high in fiber, so you could actually benefit from that. But
Okay.
it has a slight aftertaste, so some people don't like that one. So I would normally recommend the monk fruit or xylitol.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break on that. Let that one sink in. I see some questions and points here. I'll read this one real quick. What's your point of view of people who ban meats?
So we have to go there.
We'll be back. I'm going to take a quick break. Y'all pulling all my fires today. This is Free of Mind. It's a Wellness Wednesday right here at the Star.
Out of life with the new
Warrior Wisdom, I'm banning you. I'm banning you. I'm banning you. You will no longer be allowed to post anything on this page. I'm joking, but I'm going to read it as soon as we get back. Lord, what a time.
I don't know if I want to answer that one.
Let me see. All right, so
It's a controversy.
Are they at an advantage or disadvantage compared to their meat eater fellow humans? Any advice for those who embark on vegan diet that may be considered? Yeah, she could touch this one. She's gonna touch it because yeah, she could touch it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll touch it.
Because you can be vegan in what you consume, but you may also need to supplement. And that's what I'm learning at this stage of the game. After some, let me do quick math.
20 years?
More than that,
Wow. 26?
26 years.
Mm.
26 years of not eating meat. Brother, how long has it been for you? About the same? I think we're about the same, right? Here we go. Star 106 hits, welcome back. Free your mind on a Wellness Wednesday. So good to have Dr. Lashanta Smith of the Wellness or the Treatment Room. And of course, sharing a wealth of knowledge and things that we truly, truly need to. Oh, you get 38 years. No, anyway, we'll talk about that later. He says 38
Oh,
years.
wow.
Really? But anyway, we have a question here. What's your point of view on people who ban meat out of their diets? Are they at an advantage or disadvantage compared to their meat eater fellow humans? Any advice for those who embark on vegan diets and those who may be considered? Now, that in itself can take up a whole show.
Yes, I'll just touch on it. So it is a controversy topic, but in my opinion, it's kind of difficult. Yeah, you're at a disadvantage if you're not eating meat. So I'm not against eating meat. I'm big on the quality of meat, of course, because we want to bypass the hormones, steroids, antibiotics, and all of that. But we don't want to take it out of the diet completely. But now, if somebody chooses to be maybe pescatarian or vegan, it's not that they cannot be healthy on that diet. They can. They would just have to work a little bit harder, meaning that they would have to supplement on 1 or 2 more additional things. And if they're okay with that, then they can do that and they can still be very healthy on a vegan or pescatarian diet.
Okay, well said. This one says, I did a lot of jogging this summer to the point my heart rate was at 59 beats. Asking, is this a bad thing?
Can you repeat that?
They did a lot of jogging. Their heart rate is now at 59. They want to know if that's a bad thing.
Yeah, it's not too low. This is still now after she jogged.
Mm-hmm. It seems so.
Yeah, it's not too low. It's just slightly, it should be at about 60 or more, but it's just slightly
Okay,
under.
pretty
I wouldn't be
high.
concerned about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
Now here comes the holidays where whew, Lord, between Thanksgiving, the holiday that we've so seriously adopted, and then there comes Christmas, and people are really into celebrating. It's a family time. It's a time where people, let their hair down and they eat everything and anything.
Yes.
Um, how about a detox after? Does that help the situation any?
It does. It does. And that's the reason why most people are so sick by January. Whoever is already dealing with chronic issues, it's flared
Oh,
up by that time,
wow.
and who may be fine most times, they feel sick by January. It's not just the foods that they're eating. That's going to be a big one because it's a lot of sugar, it's a lot of food allergies, and all of that. But it's a lot of drinking. So, like people who usually don't drink, they say, I'm going to take something because it's the holiday season. So, they're going to start drinking. People are not going to be prioritizing sleep because they're going to be partying
Back to
more.
this again.
They're going to be up doing cleaning and decorating their homes and stuff, and they're going to be shopping, so they're not going to be prioritizing rest and sleep. And then also the stress level is going to be high for so many different reasons. People are going to be stressing during the holidays. Maybe they're missing loved ones who they would want to be there during that time, whether they pass on or they're just not living in the Bahamas or wherever it is. And even finances as well, wanting to do things and not in a position to do it. So for so many reasons, people can stress more during the holidays, and all of that will affect us and create a lot of issues by January. Now you mentioned a detox in January, and that's the reason why we always have a sugar detox for the month of January and also for this month, the month of October, because we want to detox prior to and we want to detox after. And these are things that we have to do to keep our bodies supported, even though we may have lifestyles where we may fall off here and there, but just do the necessary stuff. We're human. And our bodies, it does not expect us to be perfect to heal us. I often say if you just put 75 to 80% in, you're good enough for your body to heal. The 20% will be your cheat days, your travel, it's your birthday, whatever it is. Yeah.
You're right. Some of the foods that are high in sugar, things that we still consider healthy, I want you to give them a little list of those. And I want to start off with potato and sweet potato. A lot of people say, oh, yeah, man, eat sweet potato, better than eating rice. And we want to talk about the rice intake as well. Because rice converts to sugar as well.
Right. So a lot of people would say, well, I don't eat sweets, candies, cookies. I don't put sugar in my tea. But they'll be surprised as what sugar looks like. And we talked about the fruit, so that's going to be one. And then you touched on the potatoes for sure. So those root vegetables, when they break down, carrot as well, beets, all of that. So if you're consuming that on a daily basis, that's going to be able to keep your sugar levels up as well. Okay, but then diabetics, in my opinion, they should not have it at all. Yeah, like they shouldn't just do a sugar detox for 30 days. That needs to be a lifestyle. They should stay there.
So no banana, no mango,
no fruit. Some people need to give up fruits for an entire year, 12 months to really be able to fix things before they can start reintroducing things back in, but within moderation and also still sticking with the lower glycemic fruits like your berries, and so forth, green apples, but not the higher ones like bananas and grapes and pineapples and mangoes.
Okay. So we're at potatoes. What else is another high one?
Yeah.
Carrots and beets. Anything else?
Yes, another one would be rice. Okay, and we know for Bahamians, a meal is not a meal unless rice is included.
You know how many people go to fine dining restaurants and it's like, excuse me, because here it is, some nice asparagus and some broccolini.
Yes.
Right? And some mashed potato, maybe with the purple skin in it, and like, sweetie, I love the rice.
Right. They still want rice. They love their rice. And rice is actually more sugar than sugar itself. Yes. So people come in and we test them and we see that they have elevated sugar levels. Their insulin is elevated. Their A1C is elevated. Their fasting glucose is elevated. And they say, that's crazy. I don't eat sugar. Are you eating rice? Yes. Are you eating potatoes and carrots? Yes. And a ton of fruits? Yes. And bread. Oh, every morning I have a sandwich. That's your sugar. Bread is sugar as well. Yes. But they would say it's not, right?
No, they're thinking...
Especially it's whole wheat, so it's good. Yeah.
Listen, this is a lot of food for thought, people. Healthy food. Can you touch on how long before bedtime should a person eat and the wrong foods to eat before bedtime?
You need 2 hours, minimum 2 hours. So let's say the goal for bedtime should be 10 o'clock or early if you can go, but 10 o'clock. So your last meal should be no later than 8 p.m. You need 2 hours because when you sleep, so does your stomach. Your stomach goes to sleep. And so whatever is there and it's not digested well enough, it's going to stop digesting things. And then when you wake up in the morning, you say, I feel hungry. That's not hungry. That's additional bacteria that you created overnight
What do you
because that
mean?
meal was too late.
If it's not digested, it turns into bacteria.
Yeah, it turns into bacteria because remember, the body will use two different ways to get rid of foods.
Okay.
It will use stomach acid, so it breaks down the
Right.
food, right?
Amylase
But
and-
if the stomach, yes, and all the enzymes as
Right.
well, but if the stomach is asleep, it's not producing the acid to break down the food. So the body has to use the second and the last option, which is going to be fermentation. So that food is going to sit there and begin to rot and ferment. And during that process, it's going to create additional bacteria. And now you got dysbiosis.
Where do colonics come into play with this?
Colonics are good. It helps your body to get rid of waste that you're not getting rid of. But I would still say you want to dig a little bit deeper to try to see why your body's not getting rid of it, because you were designed to get rid of it. Why do you need a machine to help you get rid of it?
Okay, and let me. I've got to record this one for this person that I know personally, who I don't want to say she glouts in the fact that she does not go regularly, but it's like
She's okay with it.
it's become the norm. So weeks will go by and she hasn't passed. What do you say to a person who does not go regularly? They just don't, and it's just become a part of their life.
It's not good. And I actually heard some other doctors mention that some people don't go every day, and that's actually normal. That's not normal. The goal for everyone should be 12 inches of stool in 24 hours. So either you can do it
every day.
Every day. You're eating every day, right? The only time you stop going is if you're in a prolonged fasted state. Nothing in, nothing out.
Right.
That's all. But if you're eating every day, you should be pushing out waste. And we want 12 inches of stool within 24 hours. Now, you can go twice a day and get that amount, 3 times a day, or once a day and get that amount.
So for the person that doesn't go at all, maybe every 2 days, maybe every 2 weeks, what is that a clear indication of?
That person is extremely sick and is going to get sicker if they don't resolve the issues. So constipation can be the result of so many different things. And that's why getting properly tested can say, because maybe food is moving through too slow. So we have a transit time. If it moves through too fast, that's a problem. That's diarrhea. But if it's too slow, then that's constipation. We need to see what is blocking that. Like maybe your stomach is not working well enough to do its job in digestion. So you have large particles and it's being stuck. Maybe you're eating a ton of food allergies and you don't know. And your body can't break it down. So it's getting stuck in the passage. Maybe you're just simply dehydrated. That can cause constipation as well. A simple fix, just start drinking water.
Where weeks go by and nothing?
Maybe not in her case, but yes, sometimes the lack of water, fluid actually, can cause constipation as well.
So
Some people, if they just drink salt and water in the morning, right after they're done, they have an urge to go. What is that telling you? They're dehydrated and they just needed hydration.
Listen, we could be here all day up until our 10 o'clock bedtime.
I know, right?
with questions and queries. But for those that are serious about taking back their health and finding and trying to achieve optimal health, as you say, homeostasis, how can persons find you?
Okay, so I am at the Treatment Room Trichology and Wellness Center, and we are located in the Dane Shipping Plaza, and that's did I say Pargate Road?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Pargate Road, number 18 Pargate Road, and we are in Nassau, Bahamas.
You say that again.
So it's very easy to find us. We are in Nassau, Bahamas, number 18 Pargate Road.
Yeah, a lot of people, maybe don't buy that iPhone for Christmas. Why not treat yourself or treat your loved ones. And we got some people in our families. My brother could tell you, he was like, girl, you need to see this lady. And I'm like, nah, bro, that ain't happening, you know? And after a while, it played and played on my head. Between those 10 and 2 hours of the night, playing on my head. And I'm like, okay, yeah. If you're serious, if you have loved ones, you have children, you have spouses that you want, grandchildren that you want to be around for, then you want to definitely take your health back. How to do so? Come see this lady right here. I promise you, it is a life changer. I told you, hashtag life changer is her name. All right. The number to call
is 394-0081. That's our landline. And our mobile contact is 454-4530.
All right, Christmas coming, y'all. Give yourself the gift of life.
Life and health, yes.
All courtesy of Dr. Lashanta Smith. All right. Tested, tried, and proven. I'm telling you. All right.
You didn't share your testimony.
I know, right? Again, the next show.
Yes.
Folks, thank you so much. I got our traffic up ahead. And then, of course, top of the hour, 5 o'clock. You drive at 5 with yours truly and DJ AI comes your way. Stay tuned.
We asked to look at chapters across the island, and we got a great day.
Yes, again, I was supposed to share my testimony, but there were so many things that you guys wanted to hear about.
Yeah.
So next time, I think I have to make a fixture on the show. Somehow, at least once a month or something. Up to y'all get it right. All right? Let me see. One mistake I see people make is the food they eat before exercising, not knowing the different foods they eat prior to exercising that can work against you. Child, that's another talk. Hey, like I said, we're gonna work on having her at least once a month. But I do encourage you to go and get your one-on-one consultation. You and your crew, you and your boo, you and your family, you and your kids, even kids. Now listen to me. If I knew half of what I know now, then we'd be singing a different song today. And the earlier was definitely the better. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, go and see Dr. Smith, y'all, and let her know Empress sent you. All right. When you do, tell her Empress sent you. All right. We have something going on here. All right. Thank you so much. Y'all be good. Go eat after 8.